think that's the best way you could have put it.
Some tips from a local financial advisor coming up.
Plus, how a community woodworking shop is helping to bring ideas to life.
And gray and white smoke billowed in the sky in the southwest Flagstaff today. We'll tell you why.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm community anchor Jan Petrie.
And I'm student anchor Colleen Sikora. Thanks for joining us.
Well, you may have noticed some smoke in the skies today. This due to a prescribed burn southwest of Flagstaff. Expect to see more of the same near Lake Mary Road and Woody Mountain Road throughout the rest of the week. The U.S. Forest Service conducts these controlled burns in order to help reduce the risk of wildfires in communities throughout northern Arizona.
And the government shutdown is over, but the extended deadline is looming. Legislators will once again have to address the budget and debt ceiling issues.
Citizens are worried about the financial future of our country, but local experts say not to panic and be prepared. NAZ Today's Alexa Vagnazzi has more on the situation.
Lawmakers came to an agreement on the debt ceiling last week, ultimately ending the government shutdown. As the government reopens, citizens still express concern about the future of the economy, markets, and investments.
Don't panic. I think that's the best way you could have put it.
Financial experts say avoid the drama in Washington and don't make any rash decisions about your finances. Stick to your plan, don't pull out of your investments, and reallocate if you absolutely have to.
You want to diversify. You want to put your money in quality investments. And you also want to, if you're working with an advisor, go talk to them.
However, the deal made on Capitol Hill only funds the government until January 15th. Come February, it's possible another shutdown will occur.
In the long term, if we don't find ways to either enhance revenue or reduce spending, we're going to continue to accumulate debt. The cost of funding that debt will continue to grow, and should interest rates increase significantly, be a significant additional burden.
The Senate passed a budget with $1 trillion in new taxes. The House of Representatives passed a budget with $4 trillion in spending cuts. Clearly, they need to compromise. If there's no new budget on President Obama's desk by mid-December, expect another shutdown. For NAZ Today, I'm Alexa Vagnazzi.
A third candidate hopes to be the Republican nominee for Congressional District 1. State Representative Adam Quasman kicked off his Monday by announcing his candidacy. Quasman, a resident of Tucson, says voters know that go-along-to-get-along politicians are the ones who got us into this mess, and that a new generation of principled leaders are the ones to get us out. Already in the running are House Speaker Andy Tobin of Paulden and Springerville rancher Gary Keeney. The current CD1 seat is held by Democrat Ann Kirkpatrick, a resident of Flagstaff.
Do it yourself, often referred to as DIY, is a priority for a local entrepreneur who's opened a community woodworking shop.
Sharing his carpentry skills, providing abundant workspace, and a variety of tools, all to help members attain the glory of a finished project. NAZ Today's Gavin Dunnan takes us inside Local Works.
Joseph Davidson. I'm starting this new business called Local Works in town. It's a community workshop. So I grew up in Flagstaff, been here for 18 years. I felt passionate about is bringing manufacturing back to the United States. So I think in Flagstaff, especially, I wanted to build something that was good for the community and good for teaching people how to create again. Local Works is a gym membership to a workshop. You have a monthly or a day pass, and you can come in here and use everything from welders to lathes to metalworking, big CNC metalworking equipment to kind of just hand tools or automotive tools. Or you want to learn how to do a 3D printing. We have a 3D printer.
It doesn't make sense to spend a lot of money on a tool that you're not going to use very often, but to have access to a tool that costs a lot of money and has a bit of sophistication to it is fun.
In any safety things I should know about?
You want to make sure your thumbs or any of your fingers aren't going to slip into there.
Sweet. I'm in the process of building a pair of stilts at the moment. For a Halloween costume, I'm going to be extra tall. I wasn't sure how I was going to get it done, but you know, you can come in with an idea here and come out with a final product. I don't know what I would have done. I couldn't have gone anywhere else. I don't have any tools of my own. I would have had to maybe buy them or something off the internet, but instead, you know, I was able to come in here and I was able to use some wood and chop it up and make it into something that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to make. So these stilts are really fun to walk around in, and I have Local Works to thank for that.
This provides space for people to use all these tools. That's one thing that I wanted to do with Local Works is let everybody have access to tools that they wouldn't have access to normally.
For membership information to Local Works, go to our website at naztoday.com.
Two of our kids go here, and it's just a special place in our heart at NAU.
For current students and alumni alike.
And a new art exhibit at NAU puts on a special face on a deadly disease.
All right, welcome to Monday Show, everybody. I'm meteorologist Lee Bourne. Hope you had a chance to get outside over the weekend, enjoy the lovely weather. And it seems like we've been talking about this for about a week or so. Weather's been very nice around here, unseasonably so. And the reason being, this huge area of high pressure still anchored off the west coast. Not a thing going on for much of the western United States. Coming up, we're going to talk about just how long it's going to stick around in the forecast.
Arizona University.
Green is a school color and who we are.
Being green creates jobs.
Money put back in the economy.
Being green is recycling resources.
The same fries that power our students
power Northern Arizona.
Being green shapes our future.
Through research and education,
we will make a difference.
At Northern Arizona University,
sustainability is a principle we believe in.
Northern Arizona University, the difference that matters.
Hi, I'm Lee from the Ski House in Flagstaff, Arizona, and I'd like to show you a little bit of our ski store. We've got the newest products for 2013 from Line, Armada, Rossignol, Scott, Marker, Full Tilt, and many others. If you see something on our wall and you want to try it, take part of our demo program. We have hundreds of demo skis you can try before you buy for as low as $45 a day. So come on up to Flagstaff when you're going out to the Arizona Snow Bowl, and you can be as stylish as our model Holly. She's got some of the latest helmets from Burn, Spy, Nomis, and pants from Sessions. Not just stylish, but also technical. Ski House, we got you covered, any budget.
I was an ordinary guy, but I switched to Suddenlink's new internet, and now I can't stop being awesome, because it's the fastest in town. Downloads, uploads, any kind of load, everything just flows, at speeds 13 times faster than phone company DSL. Even when the whole family is online, there's no buffering. With DSL, we were suffering. Yep, anything the phone company can do, I can do faster. Now that I have the next big thing from Suddenlink. Now that I have a house full of easy.
Welcome back. In 2010, 90% of all malaria deaths occurred to children under the age of 5.
Photographer John Williams sought to raise awareness here in the Flagstaff community by opening an art exhibit addressing the disease. NAZ Today's Imani Payne has more.
Today I'm here in the studio with Dr. Terry Taylor and her husband John. Thanks for joining us. Can you tell me a little bit about what you guys do?
I am a faculty member at Michigan State University, and they've allowed me to spend 6 months of the past 26 years in the small African country of Malawi, where we've been working on malaria.
And why do you think the recognition and further prevention of this is such a huge concern?
Well, Over the course of the continent, 1 million kids a year die of severe malaria. That's a child every 30 seconds.
Because she is so embedded in the country and the culture, we're able to get out into the countryside or visit connections, friends, and we're able to really make one-on-one connections with people. And those people then, if I get the permission, I like to record them and work them and put them into this environment that tells a story of how these people live their lives. And so I try to record that, and so we have a show here at the Communication Arts Building right now in the gallery on the second floor here that shows different people in Malawi and in Mozambique where we've been traveling and working.
What was the thought process of you putting this exhibition together?
That's a great question. We as people living in the United States don't have access. We don't understand lives that these are people, they're kind, they're gentle, loving, caring people, yet they live a completely different way than we do. And I'm trying to say that these are wonderful people, but when you see that there are photographs of people that literally dig in the ground for crickets to eat because they have nothing else. This is the story I'm trying to get across, is that we have so much more than those people, and yet they're incredibly happy people.
We both have websites. Mine is at Michigan State University. John's studio has a website, and by finding us on Googling us, you can reach those websites. But I would really encourage the local audience to key into the activities here, because it's a very switched on group of people.
Very nice. Well, you guys heard it here. If you hope to get involved, make sure you check out those websites or the upcoming activities. And for NAZ Today, I'm Imani Payne.
The exhibit on the second floor of the Communications Building here on NAU's campus will run through October 31st.
Well, it was homecoming weekend for the Lumberjacks, and all of Flagstaff came out to celebrate.
NAU fans packed the streets of downtown Flagstaff this weekend for the annual homecoming parade and block party. Music flooded the city as fans showed off their Lumberjack spirit. During the parade, NAU alumni and homecoming royalty showed off their true blue pride. That love for NAU carried over to the annual tailgate party before the Lumberjacks took on the Idaho State Bengals. Students and fans gathered in the Sky Dome parking lot for delicious food and lots of fun before the big game. Fans of all ages enjoyed the whole roasted pigs, games, and wild attractions while they cheered on their mighty Lumberjacks. Perfect weather, tasty food, and an energetic crowd made for a successful homecoming 2013. For NAZ Today, I'm Xavier Angel.
At the Rocky Mountain Emmy Awards, Northern Arizona University received 5 Emmys for student and professional work in the broadcast industry. NAZ Today's Natasha Reeves highlights the winners.
Professor Dale Hoskins was introduced as a new member of the Silver Circle this weekend for 25 years of service in the industry at the Rocky Mountain Emmy Awards.
I think the primary reason I was inducted was because of the success of our students from NAU, particularly the on-air folks in news, but also in radio and TV hosting. One of the highlights of my career is going to award ceremonies like this, particularly the former Associated Press Awards, and seeing these current students like this year, but also former students receiving awards and getting accolades from the profession.
5 additional student-produced shows won Emmys at the event.
So it was really cool to find out that we were nominated, but I think it was even more special to find out that we won. Our whole class was part of this project. Everyone did packages, and then on the production day, we had people doing the filming, we had other people doing the audio. A couple of our classmates were involved in the anchoring, and then the class also did all the editing. Angeli, our professor, was a huge part of why we got nominated, and another even bigger part of why we won. We have to thank her for that. But it was really cool to find out that, you know, here we're students and we have this thing to say now. We have a student Emmy.
For NAZ Today, I'm Natasha Reeves.
And smoke may have blocked out a bit of the sun today, but we had plenty of sunshine, obviously brilliant covered leaves, and just a little bit of wind. Meteorologist Lee Bourne has this week's forecast coming up.
NAU football hosted Idaho State for homecoming. A full recap of the game is coming up after the break.
Hi, I bought Pepsi Next.
What's Pepsi Next?
It's the latest cola from Pepsi. It's got real cola taste, but 60% less sugar.
Real cola taste, 60% less sugar.
Yeah, I know.
It's unbelievable.
But this is the most impressive thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Oh, definitely. Let me get the camera. I've never had anything like it. My parents are gonna.
Yes, they're gonna be so proud.
Pepsi Next. Drink it to believe it.
For over 20 years and with more than 65,000 success stories, Coconino Community College is vital to your future.
My name is Josie Escoto. Unlike most college students, I enrolled in CCC's Allied Health Program at the age of 45. And today, I work in the healthcare industry. When I become a registered nurse, I'll be giving back by helping those in need. And that's why I support Coconino Community College.
With your support, Coconino Community College will remain efficient, effective, and excellent.
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
All right, another very mild mid-late October day. Not quite as warm as yesterday. Sunday checked in at 67 degrees. Temperatures down a few degrees, a little bit of a northerly breeze out there today. 62 our high, not far off the 60-degree average for this time of year. A little bit chilly out there this morning due to very calm and dry atmosphere overnight last night. Look at the rest of the almanac. Haven't had any precipitation in a while, so we're starting to get just a little bit of below average here for this time of year. We're just a couple months in here to the water year, and hopefully we can start getting some storms around here, but not while we have this huge area of high pressure sitting off the west coast. We were talking about it last week. If you tuned in at all, it's called an omega block because the shape of this high pressure dome has an omega, Greek letter omega shape to it. And notice all the Pacific energy going way up over the top of it and then dropping down into the center portion of the United States. So very quiet across the west United States. And it looks like this thing's not going anywhere for a good portion of the week. If you see these little weak areas of low pressure kind of spinning out in the Pacific, they're going to kind of undercut the high pressure later in the week, maybe bring a little bit of high cloud cover. And it appears that maybe one of these two little ripples in the atmosphere late Thursday and through the day on Friday may bring some light sprinkles to the far eastern portion of the state. Some very light rainfall with those. We're not expecting it in Flagstaff or anywhere in Yavapai County. It would be out in the White Mountains and up towards the Four Corners with just a little bit of cloud cover for us. Very little cooling down with it. Okay, so in the meantime, the main jet stream dropping down through Canada and right down into the northern plains. Notice a little bit of snow moving through the Dakotas. Jet stream drops down, bottoms out here along this cold front that extends from the deep south and right up into the Great Lakes. Now this is where all the chillier air is. We have a little bit of rain right along the cold front, some rain down along the Gulf Coast, and this is going to be the real first big fall chill for much of the Midwest. There's going to be some Great Lakes snow along with this storm system as we get into later portion of the week, and eventually it's going to make its way into the Mid-Atlantic and the eastern seaboard. Current temperatures out there, I told you, here's all the cold temperatures. 34 in Minneapolis, 37 in Chicago right now. Not hard to see where the cold front lies, all the cold air behind it, and much more mild temperatures running up through Appalachia and into the Mid-Atlantic states, and obviously under the high pressure, very mild temperatures out west. Current temperatures outside right now across Arizona, 64 for you in Payson, lovely down in the desert, 84 in Phoenix. We're 51 right now here in Flagstaff. A few high clouds out there. We'll continue with those tonight. Early morning low under very calm conditions, 25 degrees. Tomorrow, very similar to today. I'm going to up temperatures just a little bit, 64 degrees, and it's another perfectly sunny day. Sunrise at 6:39. Statewide temperatures across the region, 79 in Sedona tomorrow, 74 in Prescott, Payson 74, Winslow 70, Tuba City 65 degrees. Extended forecast, periodic high cloud cover. As I mentioned, maybe a few clouds out there Thursday, Friday as this little weak system tries to undercut the ridge. The ridge will actually still be there and looks to remain there, I think, till late portion of the weekend, and it looks like it doesn't really break down till right around Halloween. So another week or so to go of this very nice weather.
Very good. Well, it seems like a nice week to be in Flagstaff instead of all in those eastern states. That looks a little chilly, but
it's getting to be that time of year where it starts to happen like that.
Absolutely. Well, Tresa, I know we had a very big weekend in sports. Yes. What do you have for us?
Well, it was homecoming weekend, so we had a lot of games going on. I'll have all that for you when we get back.
It seemed like I was tying.
Hi, I'm Terry Markson. As seasons change, so does the inventory at Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. We've got Northern Arizona's biggest selection of always changing certified pre-owned vehicles. All receive a thorough 172-point vehicle inspection, a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty, and 2 years of free maintenance, including all oil changes. You can count on our certified pre-owns just as you can count on our relaxed, no-pressure environment. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac, real hometown value.
A busy homecoming weekend for the Jacks. Let's start things out on the football field, where NAU hosted the Idaho State Bengals. The cheerleaders there with an NAZ Today shout-out rallying for the home team. Quarterback Chase Cartwright scoping, looking, and he connects with Nick Cole for NAU's first touchdown of the game. Cartwright with 3 more the rest of the night. Scoping the defense, Zach McDonald there with the big smackdown, but Austin Haskett led the D-line with 8 solo tackles. The Big D would get the fumble recovery here as well. What needs to be mentioned, though, is Zach Bowman, who rushed for 266 total yards and set a new career high. I mean, just look at him go now. He breaks the tackle and goes all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. Bowman again with the carry. And this wouldn't be a Zach highlight without him breaking a tackle and going for more. Now this play, Cartwright to Alex Holmes, who's going to pass it to who else? Whoa, did you catch that? Let's go back a second, check out this trick play one more time. Yep, okay, Cartwright to Holmes. To Bowman, who would have 7 catches for 58 yards and 3 TDs to top it off. The final score, NAU 39, the Bengals 30. The Jacks are on the road again this weekend, taking on the Cal Poly Mustangs. For Friday Night Lights, the Flagstaff Eagles had a field day taking on the Mojave Thunderbirds. The Eagles went off in the first half, completing 4 touchdowns, leaving Mojave scoreless. Corey Chavez scored 2 TDs in the second quarter, including a 60-yard punt return. Cody Philpott and Dylan Matthews joined in the scoring frenzy, and quarterback Kyle Wilson went 11 for 17 for 284 yards, 2 TDs and no picks. Big numbers to finish this off as the Eagles shut out the Thunderbirds 41-0. Coconino High School faced off the Camp Verde Coyotes, and the Panthers put up a fight all game. Many junior varsity players stepped up to play and filled about a third of the Panthers roster. Coconino's biggest play was an 81-yard drive down the field from a pass by Cristo Tabares to DeMonte Brain for 6 more. But the Coyotes quarterback Luke Pineda ran into the end zone twice and completed a TD pass. Coconino would fall short to Camp Verde 48-13. Out on the court, the Lady Jacks volleyball team played host to the Northern Colorado Bears on Thursday. NAU fought its way back in the third set after losing the first 2. The Jacks picked up 5 blocks and took set 3 with a Janae Vanderploeg kill to keep the Lumberjacks in it. The game would go to 5 sets, but Northern Colorado would be the bear of bad news as they beat the Jacks in set 5, 15-12. On a brighter note, on Saturday, after a big win for the NAU football team, the Lady Jacks were feeling the homecoming spirit in their sweep over North Dakota, handing them their first Big Sky loss of the season. NAU is now tied for 3rd in the Big Sky with a 7-3 record and plays Weber State on Thursday. An exciting weekend for the NAU soccer team. The Jacks won in overtime on Friday against Northern Colorado on a late goal scored by sophomore Nicole Sherwin in the 92nd minute. On Sunday, Senior Day, the Jacks shut out North Dakota 2-0 by goals scored by Lindsay Doyle in the first and Shawnee Morgan in the second. The Jacks send 6 seniors, including goaltender Lauren Weaver, off with the win, and NAU is back on the road for their final 2 matches on Friday. On the high school volleyball scene, the Lady Panthers beat the Sholo Cougars in 4 sets on the road and play Monument Valley tomorrow at home. On Friday, the Lady Eagles competed in the Nike Tournament of Champions and won both matches against Valor Christian and Desert Ridge. Tonight, Flagstaff travels to Moon Valley. October means baseball, and this weekend gave way to who we'll be seeing in the World Series. Let's head out first to the NLCS game, Dodgers and Cardinals. Bottom of the third, no score yet, man on second, and Beltran smacks that into right field. A base hit, and Carpenter rounds third base, and then home. Cards up 1-0 in the third. Bottom of the fifth, St. Louis up 8-0. Beltran with a hit to left field, and an RBI single caps off a 5-run 5th inning. Top of the 9th, Cardinals up 9-0. And Dodgers' Mark Ellis with a swing and a miss sends the St. Louis Cardinals to the World Series, repping the National League. Heading over to the ALCS now. Tigers and Red Sox, bottom of the 7th, and Shane Victorino with bases loaded, and he hits that one into left field, and it's gone. Victorino with the big grand slam of the game. Yeah, he's pretty pumped right now. 2 outs, top of the 9th, and a last chance for the Tigers. But no Yahtzee. The Red Sox with the pennant, and they'll advance to the World Series for the American League against the St. Louis Cardinals. So a lot of excitement going on for October sports, especially within the upcoming World Series.
I tell you, it was a great weekend for the Flagstaff team. What about a lot of victories coming through?
Lots of
We've got weather coming up for you. One more look. Stay with us.
Modern Grove Neighborhood Eatery and Market defines the heartbeat of our local community by bringing together the food and families that call it home. Modern Grove, located on South Milton Road, open daily from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Come enjoy the aroma and taste of our homemade bread, pizzas, and much more. Sit outside on our patio for a relaxing afternoon beverage.
All right, welcome back. Very mild weather all the way through the weekend to the early portion of the weekend. Low mid 60s, overnight lows right around seasonable in the mid upper 20s, and some occasional cloud cover here and there.
And take a look at this. These scuba divers are 30 feet underwater for a pumpkin carving contest. And it's kind of rough because those pumpkins are naturally buoyant and they're trying to keep them down. So pretty interesting. I definitely wouldn't want to try to do that. Too hard for me.
And here's another thing to take a look at. In Ireland, a team of volunteers used thousands of pegs, soil, and sand to make this 11-acre portrait. The picture is of a 6-year-old girl, and it was made to celebrate the Belfast Festival. It took 18 months of planning, and how long do you think it took to put it together? About a month. So we have some pretty exciting video for you. So who wants to carve pumpkins underwater?
Oh, I want to give it a shot.
I'd rather build an 11-acre peg portrait with sand.
We just love looking for those stories. We want to show you
great.
Yeah, those are great video. Yeah. We thank you for joining us here tonight. Be sure to check out our video website at naztoday.com. Have a great evening.